Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks take on Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears. With that, we'll get out to Matt Nagy's home opener as coach of the Bears as we get to Soldier Field with Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
2 one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. That'll
set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. A dump off for Davis. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 20. Our first carry now for Jordan Howard. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Barkevius Mingo in that time on the tackle. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
At running back is Jordan Howard, who was an absolute revelation as a rookie, but he finished 2nd to Ezekiel Elliott for the rushing title in 2016, and no sophomore slump for him at all. Followed it up with a 2nd straight 1,000-yard season and finished 5th in the league in rushing.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And his throw is going to be incomplete. And a look at Seattle's defense.
And free safety Earl Thomas has a list of accomplishments as long as anyone's arm. But the thing I think about with him at all times, no matter what happens in front of him on the defensive end of the ball, he's back there to erase any mistakes that happen. The top guy in the league, as far as I'm concerned, in that category.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, is his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Dancing to his left. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A very solid gain of 27.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Encroachment, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
The numbers for him from a week ago. Now, you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw it right there. They want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
On second down, here's Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 15. After the interception, here's Wilson. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And that means my eyes go to Doug Baldwin out on the perimeter. He plays the game so hard and with such passion, but also plays it skillfully. Only one drop last season on his way to another Pro Bowl season.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
14, 9.
Here's a give to Penny. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I think you're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play. But when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now it's Trubisky. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Trubisky now off the bootleg. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to the ball.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Penny, a first down carry. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half in some of these shorter games.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he fends him off. Escaping the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Eddie Goldman getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Being chased under pressure again, and down he goes again. Khalil Mack. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Trubisky will throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Frank Clark in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Returnable for Lockett. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Trubisky. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
You see it? You see it?
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky flushed out right. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4th.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Now it's Lockett. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Dumps that off to Penny, his running back. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be a third and about 13.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Holding offense.
So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Now it's Wilson. He's got a man open. That's Marshall. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A big 30-yard play on third.
I'm sorry, but it's almost unfair. I mean, Brandon Marshall can make so many plays, but even when you think he's covered,
he's not.
No, he's really not. He uncovers and makes a play on you and picks up good yardage in doing so.
Now it's Wilson. He finds Marshall on the screen. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Again, Wilson. That's complete. Again, he's got Marshall. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yes, you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Well, they were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Trubisky to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Trubisky. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and then went to and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. Incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throwing here, Trubisky, rolling to his right. So a minute 56 to play in this 1st half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Eluding the pressure right. Breaks through the contact, and he comes back with one complete. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago 1st.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Flush to his right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. On the crossing route, complete. That's Burton. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver. Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or, even worse, an interception.
Now Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. This from 36 yards out. And Parkey's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
I didn't break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Now Wilson on first down. Baldwin with it over the middle. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. On first down, Wilson. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
On 3rd down, this is Howard. They find some open field here. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Escaping the pressure right. Gabriel's got it. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. A gain of 3, second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now it's Trubisky. And that was solid coverage there from Dante Johnson.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Play action. It's Trubisky. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ballgame. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Gonna let one flip, and this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Chicago! Allen Robinson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Rigged the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Lockett with the grab over the middle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
This complete to Lockett. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up, whether it's on your group.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Eddie Goldman coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never got the play action.
To the right side, it's Marshall. And all the way in, touchdown, Seattle. Brandon Marshall, his first touchdown of the new season. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Now it's Trubisky. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Trubisky will throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one, 47 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the...
Now Trubisky lost the football. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's the first throw now for Chase Daniel. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit and not go down and fumble the ball.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
They go play action now. Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Akeem Hicks able to get him for a loss of about 3. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some clock.
From the gun, it's Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 49 yards. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they start to...
That is touchdown number 1 of the NFL career of former Aztec Rashad Penny. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. On 2nd and 10, Daniel. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A handoff to Penny. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Throws left side complete to Brandon Marshall. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And quickly, they get to the line. A 1st down throw for Daniel. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, Daniel. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Frank Clark in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight. Off play action, Daniel. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So they decline it, as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Daniel now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing on third down, Daniel. And that's incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game. They had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes and we'll be in great shape.
Try to punch it in with Howard. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. He's going to get it running right. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. Jordan Howard, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears get a bit closer. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Wilson. Flushed out right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. He got it stripped, but you can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him, because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go in any different direction. It can go way away from you. In this case, it didn't matter. He was able to get on it.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Now, aren't I, though?
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again, Daniel. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight. Off play action. Daniel. And he's going to go down again. Jaron Reed in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they take over. They'll set up shot at the 46-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school. I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
That's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. After the penalty, it's Penny. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves them with a more standard 2nd down. This is Carson. Down to the 25. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realizes there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Seahawks, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale